Hey, Mystic members. Mystic Poet 82 here. And I've noticed that different types of trees bloom at different times. Some are early in the season and others are late. Like this one right here is late. It's got really tiny leaves and still quite a few buds that aren't exactly leaves just yet. And the one over here is pretty much in full bloom. I mean, the leaves aren't probably as big as they're gonna get yet, but it looks pretty right now. We are very similar in this sense. I was a late bloomer as far as maturity. I kind of stayed in full childlike mindset longer than most of the friends I grew up with. But, you know, that happens and I'm still a child at heart. But if you look at a tree that's slower in blooming or later in blooming, you can see the dead branches that are still on it, like that one. There's one there. There's a few, quite a few. And they stand out a lot easier than the one over here that's more mature. This one also has poison ivy growing up it, which is not a good thing either. Now, with us, we also have dead branches, or rather things that are part of us that need to be removed. And our physical appearance can cover up those things, but sometimes if we're not careful, those things can come out when they shouldn't. And it kind of puts a bad impression on us as a person. Now, like I've said in the past, no one's perfect. Once you realize those flaws about yourself or those things that need to be removed, you have to work at it, you have to want to change, or it's not going to happen. Now, the poison ivy growing like on this tree is a good example of something negative that has such a firm grasp on our lives that it would take proper equipment to remove it, if that's even possible. Because if you've ever had poison ivy growing on anything at home and had to pull it out, those roots go pretty freaking deep. Now, I know dandelion roots go really deep too, and a lot of people don't want those in their flower beds. They do look nice in the yard, and they have deep roots, and they're a pain to get out. Sometimes this negative thing is so deeply rooted that it can't be removed. Like with me, depression, like it's become a part of me. But even though it's technically viewed as something ugly, beauty can come from it. Like poetry that I write. I write a lot of my most amazing poetry when I go through a spurt of depression. Now, like us, each tree has a different fingerprint, is unique in its own way, no matter what type it is. But, unfortunately, because of their roots, and that being which is the reason that they're surviving, besides just the air and water and whatever else it takes for them to grow, they lack the ability to help their neighbor, who's going through things such as having poison ivy growing up it. But we don't. No matter what stage of bloom we're in, or what things are plaguing our lives, we should always be a loving support when we can to those who need it, and when we see the need. Even if we don't understand what's going on with that person, we should at least talk to them and try to understand it. And that just makes us better. And like I said before, try to find out what's needs to be removed in our lives, because if you have a real good friend who you can trust, go to them and find out, hey, is there something about me I need to change? Let me know what it is and hold me accountable to it. And then if they do the same thing, you can just do that together. Hold each other accountable for what their flaws are, what make them, in a sense, an ugly person. Not saying that they are, but things that just shouldn't be there and that they want to change. And it makes you both better people and better friends. So thank you guys for watching this. Hope it was informative, and you all have a wonderful day.